I will make you understand how emotions are used to make the right decision. First of all, start speaking to yourself. Tell yourself you are made and created better. You are the best version of the human being that you wanted. Accept that you are beautiful. Accept that you are complete. Don't see your flaws. Know that you are a great person in this world. And once you take this into account, you will always see things in a different perspective. Always remember that whenever you make a decision and things doesn't turn out right, you are never making a mistake, and it doesn't mean that things are going to remain that way forever. Always remember that if things doesn't work out, you're not losing. You are losing nothing but becoming better. Every time I tell people here that what never worked out for you maybe worked out for you. Sometimes one guy was telling me that, I tried to get married, but it never worked out for me. And I asked him that, bro, how are you feeling today compared to when you were in this marriage? And then he was like, sometimes I feel that I'm better off than when I was in the marriage. Then I tell him that, you know what? What you're thinking never worked out. Absolutely, it worked out. Because what you were supposed to do was to get out of that relationship. It was not giving you the peaceful mind. So don't feel that you lost. Feel that you only wasted a little time, but you learned through it. It made you better. Sometimes you get into a love relationship and you love this guy, and things are just working out well, and then this relationship comes to an end. Most of the people say that, oh, it never worked. I want everybody now to forget about saying it never worked and start feeling and thinking that these things worked. Sometimes what you are thinking that never worked actually worked. It actually worked in the opposite way. There's something that we call a reverse psychology. Reverse psychology happens when Lydia Kweku, you are late, but don't worry about this. You can always watch it on the YouTube. Reverse psychology works such that when what you expect to happen happens in a different way. So don't always beat your chest and say, oh, I don't know why it never worked for me. I was expecting this to happen. God is trying to show you that, you know what you are expecting was not the right thing. It was not the right time for it to happen. You were supposed to get something better than what you were waiting for. Every time you lose a situation, take a moment and think of the great things that you have ever achieved in your life. When you try to do a business and it doesn't work out, try to think about the good things that you have ever done in the past. When you apply for a job, you go for an interview, but they don't call you for this job. You don't get an offer letter for this job. Don't think that you are not right. Don't think that you did not perform well during the interview. Just remember that that was not an opportunity for you, but it was for somebody else. Sometimes, I laugh with my friends and tell them that, don't always think like, you are the only one that is supposed to be getting that thing. Sometimes everyone is praying here. Look, for example, football match, or maybe a volleyball match or a basketball match. You always see players at the start of the match, they hold hands together and they pray, right? This team prays, the other team prays. By the end of it all, only one team wins. Do you want to tell me that God did not bless them? God did not listen to the other team's prayer? No. What happens is every person has got an opportunity and you have your own day. When you don't get something, praise God and thank God for the person who got it. I want people, every time I tell people who follow me, that I want people who have got positive attitude, a character that is always smiling. You keep on smiling. You don't get it, smile and tell God that yes, somebody else has been blessed. That blessing was not mine, it was for somebody else. Once you say that, you find yourself smiling and going to your computer and typing, you get another job opportunity and you apply to it. The next day you go for this interview, that was yours. And you find out that it is even better than the one that you were crying for. People, let us learn how to appreciate everything in our lives, better or worse, good or bad. Sometimes, you are driving, you want to go for this interview, and you prepare everything, you put everything together, and then wait for the taxi, and taxi takes you. And when you're just almost approaching the interview compound, and you realize that your shirt has got some dirt, or maybe you forgot something that you're supposed to be using for interview, and it's only 5 minutes to the interview, you start crying, oh my God, this is the evil spirits. These are the people from my village don't want good for me. Or the village, I don't know how it is said, the village ancestors are after me. People in my village are after me. See, I just came until next to the door, and I just remembered that I forgot something that is very important for this interview. Let me tell you, sometimes it is not the village people. It is God stopping you to get something that you don't deserve. Sometimes you are rushing to catch a bus, and the bus just leaves you, and you can see it. It's going, and you can't catch it. Sometimes it is God stopping you from rushing to that place, because maybe He has seen what you have never seen. I have a manager who one day shared with me something. He sent me some screenshots of his uncle who wrote a book, and he was talking about a certain guy, and he told me, John, I have sent you some pages of a book that was written by my uncle. Just read those pages and then connect. Tampan is my father, and the lady there is my mother, and blah, blah, blah. Just read the story, and then I will tell you what happens. So this story was about young guys who were coming from India, and were relocating from India to Bahrain. So they were supposed to travel. Everything was there. Their visa was ready, and their flight tickets were ready, and everything was there. That was back in 1970s, or 1970 something, 60s or 70s. So they took a train to Mumbai, or I don't know, the first airport where they were supposed to connect a flight, and then from there to Mumbai to take the flight to Dubai, from Dubai to Bahrain. So what happens, these guys were rushing and everything was ready. And then they went to the airport. Before reaching the airport, the train was late. So they tried the train, they arrived late, and they could not get papers to get them to the airport to get their flight to Bahrain. So what happens, they could not make it. So their flight was cancelled, or their tickets were cancelled, not the flight, because the flight itself came to Bahrain, or took off the same day that it was planned to do that. So these guys were worried, oh my God, we have lost that opportunity. Right now we could have been traveling. And by that time, this guy tries all means possible maybe to catch up with this flight, with this aeroplane, but they did not manage to. So they called the people who are connected in Bahrain that, we have missed our flight, so we don't know what's going to happen. Our visa is ready. We are supposed to be arriving in Bahrain tomorrow, but now the flight has just departed. We just arrived at the airport late when the flight just departed. So what happened? They were like, what a shit, what a bad omen to us. Guys, I want to tell you that just 1 hour on air, the flight that these guys were supposed to be using to travel to Bahrain caught fire and was destroyed to something that is called dust. Not even a single passenger, including the crews and the pilots, were found. The flight burnt down, and nothing, not even a bone, could be found from that flight. So my manager was telling me that, this time my dad had not even met my mother. So the reason why I'm giving you these pages to read, because my uncle wrote this book, and he was the one who was with my dad. They were supposed to be traveling to Bahrain, and they never traveled. And the flight they were supposed to be using caught fire, and everybody died. So that is how God saved my life, because by then I was not born. My dad had not even met my mom. So if at all my dad got that flight to Bahrain, I would not have been born. So, we talk a lot with my manager. So he was like, John, sometimes when things don't work, That was, in fact, he was giving me this story when things were so tough in our company. Things were so tough. It was during Corona period, and we were trying to get these projects. Things are not connecting. Things are not coming out. We are trying to apply for this and it's not coming. So we encourage each other. So he tells me that, don't worry about that. Just go and read this book, and tomorrow I will explain to you what happened. I will explain to you. Just make sure Tampan that is mentioned on those pages is my dad. So I'm trying to tell you that sometimes when you miss an opportunity that you thought is meant for you, don't cry, don't curse, don't say fuck off, don't say Satan, don't say, thank God for protecting you from a bad omen that might have come in front of you. If that man, if Mr. Tampan, who is a very respected father, I respect him as my father as well, if he would have taken that flight, today my manager would have not been alive, because he would have not met this lady and he would have not been born. So everything that you see happening in your life, bad or good, appreciate it. Thank God. Just try to learn the lessons out of it. Try to be positive. Try to take a moment and think about that one great thing you have ever done when things are happening wrong in your life. Try to think about one good thing that has ever happened in your life. When things are not happening right, I told you guys that I used to fail chemistry. I don't know if you were not here day before yesterday, I guess. I was sharing to you and I shared it on here, and I shared it on my page also on Facebook. I said that I hated chemistry and I used to fail chemistry. And by then I did not know much about being positive and everything. But this is how I used to console myself. I know I will fail chemistry. So what I will do, I will take the moment, even when I'm supposed to study for chemistry, I would study physics or biology, or I will go and study business studies. So I told myself that I have to score highly in either business studies, biology or physics, because absolutely automatically I'm going to fail in chemistry. I've tried but things are not working. I'm trying but it's not working. So get that positive thing. Think about something positive that you do. Don't think about the chemistry. Don't think like, oh, now I'm going to fail chemistry, so what is this? I can't, Think about what you can do that is positive. My thoughts were business studies is going to work for me. Physics is going to work for me. Biology is going to work for me. And when I did my exam, I passed in all of those 3 subjects. And automatically, as I had expected, I failed in chemistry. So if at all I took my focus and put them on chemistry and not remembered that still I can perform well in biology, physics and business studies, and then when my total gradings is going to happen, they will not grade me with chemistry. It will just appear in my certificate, but it will not contribute to my grading. So when things are not happening right in your life, think about the positive things that you can do that can change the situation that you are in. Be positive with your life. Trust that God can change things in your life. I shared with you here that there's a time I left my business in the hands of a family member that I really trusted, and I trusted with everything, and destroyed that business from whatever I had put together, invested in it, all the energy, 4 years, saving money, trying to deny myself a lot of things, then fix this business, and then bring in a family member into it, and he destroys it with 100% loss. I never cried. I never argued. I never did anything to them. I just told them that, you know what? The only thing that I will never do again is to associate myself with you in any kind of a business. But whatever has happened is a worldly thing. I know that I still have hands, I have brains, I have time, I'm still very young. God is going to bless me. And today I can proudly say that I have made more than 10 times what I lost 5 years ago. Because people don't focus on the positive side of their lives. Don't focus on the negative thing. When it has happened, you cannot change it. You see, if I'm having this phone, if I have it and it gets down and it breaks, I should not be crying that it got broken. I should be asking myself, is there a chance that it can be fixed? Or I have to throw it in the garbage and buy a new one. But the problem is, most of us focus on, if I had kept it maybe somewhere there, it will not have fallen down. If this one, if that one, you don't look at how you can solve the situation that has happened. We are always trying to see, if you would have done this, if I would have not slept with him, I would have not gotten this baby. I'm a single mother because I just slept with. If I would have, don't. You are already a single mother. Stop thinking about you slept with her, with him, that's why. Stop thinking about if I would have accepted this other guy and not him. No, you are already a single mother. Think about how you're going to take care of your baby. Think about what you can get better than the person that made you that kind of a person. You see, we try so much to think about the wrong things that have happened in our lives, forgetting that we can change that situation. We can change that situation by becoming better, not going back to it and punishing people, not telling the whole world how somebody broke your heart. We can always strive to do something better than we did them before. If somebody, even your parents, you have been contributing a lot of money to them and then they reject you or they do something that is, forget about the money that you have given. Forget about the things that they have done wrong in your life. Think how to close the loopholes of giving them more money. Think how to close the loopholes of giving them the second chance. And I will tell you this, ladies who are watching me, a man comes into your life, makes you pregnant, you get a baby and they leave. Then you start focusing, thinking, why did he leave? Why that? What if? What did I do wrong? Why did this guy go? Why is he not taking care of his baby? Why does he not, you're focusing on him. By that time, you're not thinking wisely. By the time you're still focusing, he will come back again. And because you are still foolish, the same way I said, they will come. Okay? And you will welcome them. And they will put another baby, the second baby. By the time you are thinking like, oh, I'm pregnant for him again, he's gone. You will again come on thinking about him again. How did I welcome him back in my life? Why did I do this? The circle can continue every now and then. My dear ladies and gentlemen, my friend, what you have to do with your life is to fix the loopholes. Any kind of a loophole that is in your life, you are not performing well in class, fix the loophole. Don't focus on the subjects that you have passed. Don't think about the subject that you have done. Don't think about that exam you failed. Think about how you are going to pass the next exam. Don't think about the chapter that has passed. Sometimes you never save money. You have never saved money. People are talking about savings. Sometimes you're in a group with your friends and people are talking about, this month I saved, $50,000 or this month I saved $1,000. And then you're like, oh my God, when will I save? You are even trying like, oh, let them not ask me how much I saved because I've never saved. Don't think about that. For me, when you ask me how much you saved and I know very well I did not save, I will tell you that no, I'm saving next month $50,000. That is the positive attitude. Your tongue has spoken.